Are you ready to be empowered to live a life of emotional and financial freedom? Well, welcome to Freedom Starts Now. It's the show educating, entertaining, and inspiring with experts around the globe excited to guide you on a journey of exploration. And now, here's your host and freedom facilitator, Karen Theimer.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Freedom Starts Now show. My name is Karen Theimer, and I am your show host. And I am super excited to introduce my guest today. And I know if everybody who's listening here today is looking to be inspired, looking for something new, who knows, maybe they're looking to grow their business and take it to the next level. So I'm excited to introduce Tammy Johnston, who is the Hold Your Hand and Kick Your Ass business coach. She's been working with solopreneurs and small business owners for over 20 years to help them build a sustainable and successful business. I am super excited because I'm actually had the pleasure to get to know Tammy, and I'm going to be working with her. So I'm very excited because she's going to help me take my business to the next level. So thank you, Tammy, for being here today. And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, it's my pleasure to be here, Karen, and chatting with you. I always love talking about business. So, hey, this is my world. This is my world. So, yes, actually, my clients are the ones that named me the Hold Your Hand and Kick Your Ass business coach, because they're going, that's what you do. you love on us and you support us, but you don't let us get away with any crap, and you make sure we get our stuff done. So we're actually achieving the goals we set. So, and I'm going, yeah, that is pretty much me. So I own it. I run with it. It's wonderful. And I love seeing the transformation in my clients, in their lives and in their businesses.
Oh, I love it. Because you know what? I mean, it doesn't matter where we are in business. I'm learning, I have been in business for, I don't know, forever. It feels like about 20 years or so. Mm-hmm. And I always thought, I'm an entrepreneur until I discovered I was actually having a brick and mortar business. Mm-hmm. And there's a difference, as we know, between a brick and mortar business, trading time for money, and an entrepreneur. And one thing I'm learning over the last few years is the difference between it. Because, you don't do the work and then get paid right away. Right. And
the work is in the front end. The profits are in the back end.
Right. So, but I'm learning, it's almost like, okay, so how do you build this? How do you do that step by step? What do you need to do next? That kind of thing. So why don't you play on that a little bit?
Well, every person goes into business with some strengths. They go in with weaknesses, and the stuff that usually gets them in the trouble is the stuff that they don't even know they don't know. And I have been working with all sorts of businesses. It doesn't matter, product, service, brick and mortar, retail, consulting, coaching, tradespeople, professionals. All business have the same 8 basic foundational pieces. When you have those basic foundational pieces, then your chances of success go way up. If you're missing any of the pieces, or the more of the pieces that you are missing, the faster and the harder you are going to crash. So everybody needs to have their mindset, and moving from being an employee mindset, which is what we're trained through school and society and the media. That's what we're trained to be. We're trained to be employees, and how they think and how you have to think to be a successful entrepreneur are a lot of the times like polar opposites. So we have to make sure you've got the right mindset. Habits. Because there's a lot of people that work very well as employees because you've got a structure. The boss tells you what you need to do. You've got all of this stuff. One of the pros and cons, depending on who you are, of being an entrepreneur is you decide what you're doing. You are in charge of everything. So if you're not prepared for doing that, and if you do not have your habits set up and your schedule and what are you going to be doing, a lot of people, they don't know what to do. So they end up procrastinating, or even worse, they're doing stuff so that it looks like they're busy, but they're not accomplishing anything of value. And then they're wondering why there's problems. So mindset, habits, marketing, like no business coming in, there's no point for any business. So what are you doing for marketing, and how do you have it set up so that it is going on a regular, consistent basis, that you're getting your message across properly, that you're getting to the right people? You need to have a good handle on your finances. And that's the number one area that most small business owners, entrepreneurs, they don't just delegate. Like, it's the first thing that they want to delegate, but most don't delegate. They abdicate. They throw it away to the bookkeeper, go, I never have to look at this stuff again. Yay! And then they wonder why they have problems, because they don't understand their numbers. They're not seeing the beautiful, wonderful stories that their numbers are telling them that can help them better serve their clients and attract more of them. So I always want my clients to do their own bookkeeping for 6 months to a year. Then you could properly delegate, not abdicate, delegate it off to a bookkeeper, because then you can look at the reports and you can have intelligent conversations with your bookkeeper and your accountant so that you're still getting the information without you having to do all the nitpicky data entry work. But you learn way more when you have put the time in doing the nitpicky data entry, because you get familiar and you start to see patterns and all of that stuff. Advisory team. Who do you have on your team that's helping you? No matter how brilliant and wonderful you are, you cannot and do not know everything. And most people are getting their business advice, solicited or not, from their broke-ass friends and family who have no idea what they're talking about on this subject. Like, yes, they might want to love you and support you and all this stuff, but if they have never played in this arena, they're not the best people to be getting your advice from. Or people will be going, okay, what's my cheapest option? Well, at certain times that's acceptable, but a lot of the time the cheapest ends up being by far the most expensive and the most painful. So who do you have to have on your team? How do you go through and sort them? How can you best use their wonderful brilliance and knowledge to grow your business? Systems, no business. A lot of people, this is where they have major problems, because they're doing everything themselves, or what they're doing, okay, business is going, we're starting to bring people in, they're training people, and people can be wonderful, but people can be, I quit, I get sick, I can't do this anymore, I'm moving, all sorts of things. So they just have to keep training people over and over again. Where you create systems, you actually have a business. You are able to provide a better, more consistent, and significantly more profitable experience for your clients. So you always have to be building, improving, and fine-tuning your systems. I've been running my own business for over 20 years, and I've got a lot of systems set up, but we're always fine-tuning. We're adding new things because, oh my God, how much has changed in the 20 years I've been doing business. Let me tell you this, Zoom did not exist when I started. Social media pretty much did not exist. I think MySpace was at its baby stage.
Oh, yeah.
Just to give you an idea, I've been in this game for a while. And then we have cash flow and profit are the last two. You need to have both, and you need to understand how they are different. Cash flow is the regular money coming in. It's the blood that keeps things going. Profit is the money you keep after all the bills and stuff have been paid. And I've been called in as an emergency so many times where a business owner goes, payday's coming up on Friday, it's Tuesday, and there's no money in the account. What do I do? And it's almost comical how often, because I'll get the accountants going, I have a client that desperately needs you to kick their ass. All right, where am I going? And we'll have to go through and teach them the difference between cash flow and profit. You need to have both. And a lot of them don't understand what either of them are.
Wow. Like there's so much, right? And then when we talk about, because this is where I'm at right now, I'm taking I have a friend of mine who's a money mindset coach, and we've been chatting, and she's helped me through some stuff, but it's scary for people like myself. It's kind of scary to talk about money and face, not scary, but it's hard to face, especially if, like, I know for me, because I've been a spender. I was horrible at saving, and I was embarrassed because in my my career before, I made a lot of money and blew it all. Right. So there's that.
Money is a more taboo subject than sex, dear. There is
right?
more shame, grief, guilt, because my background, I've been in financial services for over 29 years now. This has been my entire adult life. And so I go over people's finances. They get financially naked with me. Like they show me their bank statements, or they hand over their phone, and they open up their bank, and I go through. Yeah. I see their credit. I see all of this stuff, but we're not taught anything about money in school, like next to nothing. I teach a personal financial course. I've been doing that for like 20 years. I stopped for the pandemic and that. But Canadians have the lowest rate of financial literacy in the westernized world.
Wow.
Like, we know nothing.
Yeah.
And we're not supposed to talk about it. Like, how many times we don't talk about money? Like, that's crude, that's crass. Like, you don't say anything. No wonder people don't know anything. Like, we're supposed to be kept in shame and guilt in the dark and then just bounce through. Where if this is why we go back to the advisory team, business people talk. And they talk about money and they talk about profit and cash flow and the different things that they're doing, because that's how they learn. And this is how we share with one another. But if you're stuck in the employee mindset and the employee world, that's nobody else's business. You shush up. And then they wonder why we don't know anything.
Oh, yeah. I never thought of it like that. Interesting. Yeah. And it's important, like to go through that. And I'm excited to be working with you, over the next year and stuff. No, because it's like, like I said, I've been in business for a long time, but there's so much, there's so much we know and so much we don't know. But I feel like where I'm at now, it's like, hold me by the hand, which is why I like, working with you, take me by the hand. Tell me week by week, what do I need to do? Yep. Right. Because right now I feel like, being at a place where you're kind of going, okay, I've creating my brand. I'm comfortable. Social media. I'm getting through my money blocks and stuff like that. And I feel like I'm at that point of like, okay, what do I need to do next? I have my hands in a few different things. That's like, I don't know where my time is best spent. Right. So it's like, okay, let's do this. I don't know. Is that the best thing to do? I guess we'll find out. But I'm excited with, but it's like throwing spaghetti at the wall and hopefully it sticks.
Hoping it sticks.
Right.
And then you're like, none of it sticks, but how come I have these red splotches all over my freaking wall? How am I going to clean that shit up?
Right. It's so true. But that's where I feel like, sometimes that I'm at. Right. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to go, okay, what is it? Here's my goal, which is Costa Rica, right?
Yep.
It's here for a month.
We'll be there together, though.
Yes. I have many goals, but one of my goals. But it's like, okay, so how do I get there? How do I make it work? And understanding, like you say, like the profit and the your payout cash or whatever. Cash flow. Thank you. I was like, what is that word again I'm thinking of? Yeah. So your profit and cash flow, like knowing, like, it's like, okay, well, maybe, yeah. So very cool. And then how do you take somebody through the holding the hand? Like what does this sort of look like? Like, I know this weekend we have the workshop and.
Yeah. So I do things a different way than most people. So I have my small business class the weekend that you're doing with me here this weekend, where we give you all the information, like we give you all the basics, all the foundational pieces. We work on the businesses and stuff that are in the room, and we go through the whole process. And I've been doing that class for about 18 years. And then about what I was seeing with it is, and I've done this myself, so many people have, you go to this amazing course and it was, oh my God, it was great. I learned so much and I cannot wait to get back into my life or my business or whatever and start implementing all this stuff. So you get back and then Monday morning comes and you go down to work and this thing is ringing and the email's going off the hook and the cat just threw up outside the door and the kids need to get to school and so you get sucked back into real life and you just go along with your normal routine because you're so busy and you don't have any accountability. And then you're looking at it like you're going past your bookshelf and you see that beautiful binder and you go, oh, that was a great weekend. I was going to make so many changes. What happened? All right, nothing. And then you wonder why nothing changes. So I paired it up with Mastermind, which is a year-long group coaching program where we go through specific stuff every week. So we continue to build on your knowledge and all of that stuff. But more importantly, you get the accountability and the support to actually keep things moving forward. And I do all of my stuff live because then it's a set time in your calendar. It's in your schedule. You show up, you get your homework. You have me. I have a greedy, motivated self-interest to see you succeed. I don't want people coming like, yeah, it was great. And I haven't accomplished it. That does not look good for me. I want to see you totally and completely killing it. So and I open up my Rolodex and I'm going, what do you need for help? And all the different things that go along with that. But we go through it, and the changes that I have seen, because I've been doing the mastermind, the group coaching for about 7 years now. And the transformation I have seen people go through, because what we're doing is we're setting them up with the habits. We're giving them practical steps and the love and support. And one of the things that they do is I teach them how to do a weekly plan, so that you're actually working on stuff that's going to move your business forward, not just shuffling the deck chairs on the Titanic. Let's do the things of called, let's avoid the iceberg and actually get to New York. So they send me their weekly planner every week, and I go through, and if I start seeing the same thing over, I'm going, okay, Karen, what in the world's going on here? Like, are you bullshitting yourself that this is a goal, or why are you procrastinating? What's going on? What do we have to do to fix this, so that you can actually be moving forward? And like I said, the changes that I see when I put them together, because the small business class gives them the stuff to get them excited, because everybody has different strengths and weaknesses. So they know where they need to be working. And then, okay, we keep working on it every week for an entire year. Practical. What can you do now to move your business forward?
Yeah, I'm excited about it, because like I said, for me, sometimes it's like, okay, let's just try this, and I'm now consistent on social media, and I want to build my business in the coaching, and I'm a massage therapist. I mean, I wear a few hats, right? But
don't we all dare?
Right, exactly. But it's
great. Part of being an entrepreneur. There's so much stuff that we can do. Like,
right,
we can have so much fun. But it's like, what is the best thing for me to be working on now?
Exactly. And you got to find the fun in it, right? Like,
even if it's not fun, don't do it.
Yeah, even when I was, as I'm doing this workshop with my friend, this money one, at first I went in kicking and screaming and my heels down. It's like, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to look at it, because I know there's going to be guilt there, right? And it's like, wait a minute. No, Karen, that was the past. This is not me anymore the way I was back then. What do I need to do? But I also need to find the fun in it. I need to find the celebration in it, like make sure I celebrate. Like, even when I was going through my finances, just like, it's like, pick 3 months and go through everything with a fine tooth comb. The first time I did it, it was like, oh my God, it was such an eye opener for me, but it took me forever, because there was the procrastination. There's me going, I don't want to deal with this. But I know if I'm going to take my business to the next level.
Well, you hide from it thinking it's this great big gigantic monster that's going to destroy you. But
right?
when you actually get with it, it's like, that was scaring me. Like, what the hell?
I know. But I'm one of those here. The bookkeeper will deal with it, right? But after I got,
you were an abdicator.
Totally. Here, you do this, you do that. But then it's like ka-ching, 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 ka-ching. Okay, Karen, I got to learn some of these things, right? But it was like, and once I got through the probably 6-7 hours of doing 1 month's worth, like, it probably actually took me longer, because I was like stepping away. Oh, look, shiny objects. Oh, look, my phone, right?
What can distract me from doing this horrible thing?
You almost have to, when you catch yourself, you laugh. Well, at least I laugh, because I'm like, oh my God, how many more ways can I get distracted, right? But once I swore to myself, I was not going to bed. I couldn't watch TV. I mean, this is me disciplining myself until I got this month done. And then I did, and I was like, man, that wasn't really all that hard. So when I did the next day, when I did the next month, it was like boom, 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 easy, no time at all. So I was like, man, all that stress, all that guilt, all that everything. But I know I had to go through that.
Yes, right? And we all have those things on different stuff. Like, I love seeing like the memes and stuff. One of my favorite ones. Yeah, this job that I've been putting off for months and months and months and all this stuff. I finally was forced to do it. It took me 20 minutes. And what did I learn from this? Absolutely nothing. Because basically, I'll do it again. But how many times we all do it? Like, we're procrastinating, we're putting something off. Like, okay, we're in April, so it's tax season. People do not. But I'm going, I hate it. But I buckle down and I do it. And it only takes me like about an hour to get through it. But it's like, how much bullshit do I build up in myself going, I hate doing this?
if we just stop making it so difficult, right? Like there are certain things that I don't want to do, and I have no desire to do my taxes at all. Don't care, don't want to learn it. Not that I don't care, but like here, let an accountant do that. Right?
Yes.
That is, let me do what I do best, right?
Yes.
But there are some things that I can learn, right? And like Canva, that's
you need to understand the basics, because especially when you're in business, you need to be able to have good conversations with your accountant, because if you are properly utilizing your accountant, and they're a good one, they do more than just file your taxes. They can help you grow your business and make better decisions so that you are being more profitable. And my perfect thing, yes, we all need to pay taxes. It's what we pay for being in a decent civilized society and makes life better for everybody. So I'm all for that. But I'm not for paying more than I have to. And you can do the planning and working with that. And this is where, like you said, being able to have good conversations with your accountant rather than just, okay, what is the horrible 9 I have to sign on and how much do I have to send? This is what can help you so much. And I've worked with so many accountants, and they're going, I would love to be able to help my clients with their business and give them better advice. But they come in, they sign, and they run out the door as fast as they can. And I see them once a year. And I'm going, yeah, I know, they're missing out. They're missing out.
Oh, I know. And actually that's good, because, I'm like, when I wouldn't even know what to ask my accountant. It's just like, I go from my bookkeeper, and my bookkeeper gives my stuff to the accountant, and I just go and pay it. And I wouldn't even really know what to ask her, other than, I guess, maybe like, what are my write-offs, and that's a good point. Thank you. Oh, the breakthrough show. Shiny object entrepreneurs. Yes.
But this is one of the things, like, I love business. I've been studying money, business, and success since I was 7 years old. I was always fascinated by it. And one of the many things, in fact, like, you can't get bored. There's always stuff going on. There's always stuff you can learn and improve and doing. If you're bored, you're doing it freaking wrong.
Yeah.
And I have so many people that, like I said, when we start talking to them about their financials, and like I said, what are these numbers telling you? Like, what are the things that what is the information it's hiding in there? And I start showing them how to look at it. And then you see the light bulbs go off. It's like fireworks over their head for the first time in their life. And they're going, oh my God, that's amazing. And then they start getting into it, because before it's like, oh, it's just how much money do I have to pay? And what are my bills and taxes? So they're thinking about it as a dreadful thing. But when they start getting familiar and comfortable with their numbers, which happens when you are doing the nitty gritty and the data entry, which is what I want them to do for the first, like I said, 6 months to a year, because when you are doing it manually, you're putting it in, it slows you down enough that questions start popping up and you start seeing patterns and different things, where if you're just delegating it, you don't have the time or the information to let your brain percolate on that stuff.
Yeah. It's important. And I'm actually surprisingly not like afraid anymore.
Good.
Right? So because I think I just had to, again, you go through that fear, you go through the guilt, you got to go through those emotions.
Yes.
And go, thank you, but you no longer serve me anymore.
Yeah. I've learned my lesson. You can move on to the next person.
And then sometimes I listen to stories of these, 7-figure, 8-figure earners who have all been there, done that, and they've, lost millions and millions. So I can't really complain for the bit that I lost.
Well, right? one of my favorite books is Chicken Soup for the Entrepreneur's Soul. Ooh. Because it is filled with huge companies that we know about. And they talk about all the crap that they went through, and their moments where, okay, this was my last ditch effort. Like, I was down to my last $2, and the stress and the grief and all of this stuff that they go through. So when I'm having like one of those days, like I must be out of my freaking mind. I don't have those too much anymore because I've been doing this so long, and I'm 1,000% unemployable. But I go through and I'm going, yeah, other people have been through these difficulties. It's part of the process. And in fact, I think we have to go through it, because people that never have to face and overcome any challenges are weak. And the challenge has always come. And either you learn to go through and face the small challenges and get bigger and bigger and bigger, or you've never faced any challenges. And then when you do come up against one, it's gonna take you fully out of the game. Where I like the people who have done battle and they've got the scars and the bruises and going, they know how to play the game. They know how. Yeah. And that's not just with business, that's life. I hear about like these unicorns, and I've come across one or two in my lifetime where their life has been basically perfect. They've never had a problem in life. I'm going, oh dear God, if anything ever happens, you're screwed because you've never been tested. You've never been tested. Yeah.
It's so true. It's so true.
I tell people I love recessions. I've been through a few in my career. We've just been through the pandemic and stuff. And people go, look at me like, what the hell is wrong with you, woman? I'm going, but look at it this way. Recessions are the sorting tool. When things are booming, like right now, real estate is through the roof. So there's all sorts of people going into real estate and all this stuff that don't have a clue. And they're able to make money because it's just like a feeding frenzy. So any idiot can get in the game and make some money. Recessions sort out the people that are serious. Recessions sort out the people that are building a business versus just taking advantage of a freak in the market or whatever. Recessions are the ones that sort the people that, like I said, are in the game, learning the game, building the game. And recessions are when the long-term sustainable, successful companies are truly built.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know for me, I had to pivot through all this, right? And like many of us did, right? And some people are stuck and they are just like, I can't move my business forward because of, this going on. I mean, there's a lot of excuses, but, and everybody's going through what they need to go through right now, right? And I know for me, I had to shut down my massage business. And it's like, okay, like, am I going to be able to massage again? I mean, we had no idea what was happening, right?
Yep.
And it's like,
and then we open up and then we shut down and it's all over the place.
Right. So, but that was when I was like, okay, Karen, this is the kick in the ass that I needed. Hired a coach because I wanted to learn how to be a coach, right? Like I coach people anyway. And it's like, okay, well, how do I now turn this into a business? What is it that I need to do to really get those different streams of income, right? And stuff like that. So for me, it's like I've taken the last couple of years and, like got my wounds, fell down, got back up, fell down, got back up. And now I'm like, okay, I've now taken my, and I'm in network marketing and it's like, take my business from here to there. But it's like, okay, now I want to set myself up even more so I can take those trips for a month or 2 months or whatever it is, right? But it's just having to pivot and go, okay, this is what we have to work with. Now what do I need to do to take my business to the next level? How can I go help more people on a bigger scale and make money as well, right? So yeah. Very cool.
It's fun. It's fun.
You got to have fun in it.
It can be stressful stuff like this, but I'm just going, whenever I've been going through like the difficulties and the challenges and stuff, and I've been through quite a few in 20 years, I'm just going, I think back to when I was an employee, especially my last job before I got fired, and going, I'll take this over working for that person ever again. I'm going, I will deal with my screw-ups. I hate having to take the blame for other people's and all of this stuff. I'm going, I'll go through this. I'll go through this. And because I specialize in working with solopreneurs as early in their journey as possible, like idea stage up to 2 years. Like I've worked with everybody from like idea up to, I've been in business successful 35 years and I'm just constantly learning and growing. But I like getting the baby businesses because the failure rate within the first 2 years is astronomical and it's unnecessary. But I go, if I can get people when they still have a job and they're hoping for the layoff package or they're just biding their time to get out, I'm going, okay, let's start putting stuff together. And when I have those people, I say, okay, I want you to keep like a little notebook. You get these at the dollar store and stuff like this. And every time something pisses you off, put it in there. Tell me all about it. Because then when you're running your business and you're having the days like, oh, I could just go back and get that nice, safe, secure job. Pull out your I'm never doing this shit again book. And it keeps you going. And I go, if I could have gone back and talked to myself 1 year before I started my business, oh my God, that would have saved me like years worth of learning curve and tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the sad part and the scary part is I started my business in a much better position than most people do. Most people are technicians. They technically know how to do their product or service. Like they're a massage therapist. They know how to do massage. They're really good at massage. But when it comes to the systems and the marketing and the advisory team and the financials and the cash flow and the profit, they haven't a clue. And then they going, I went in to be able to do massages. I'm really good at that. And I'm spending 90% of my time doing this other stuff that I don't know what to do. Oh, shit. So I'm going, let's talk before you go into, oh, shit.
And it is good to, and I have to be honest, like I don't keep a journal with my journey. Right. So it's like, okay, starting, you know what, just starting now today. That's it. I'm declaring it. I'm putting it out there. I am declaring it. I'm going to start with a journal and just journal out what is working, what is not working, you know, the plan, do, review. And I would go on, I go on, like, sometimes I'll do it and sometimes I not, because I don't really know what I'm doing. So, you know, I just haven't learned it yet. Right. So, but it's like, okay,
you haven't learned it yet.
That's right. I haven't learned it yet. And yeah, it's, well, you know, onto a new journey, and I'm excited to see what happens next, right? Because you got to find fun in this journey. Otherwise, it becomes a chore. And I always have to remind myself, okay, Karen, when I feel like something is a chore, just change my language, change my energy. No, get excited about it. Because sometimes I'm like, okay, fine. I guess it's time I go learn this. And it's like, okay, well,
or depending on what it is, maybe that's sometime like. One of the things that's absolutely blown up in the last few years in particular are VAs. And VAs can do all sorts of different things. And one of the things that I've had to learn through my journey is because I'm really good at what I do. And I'm an anal retentive control freak. And a little bit of I'm a recovering perfectionist. It's kind of like an alcoholic. You never really get over it. You're always recovering. And there was so many things that I'm going, I'll just do it myself. I'll do it myself. And I'm holding, and it's like, no, I'll do it myself. And then I've had a few very good assistants over like that have literally pried stuff out of my hands going, let me do this. And I'm going, fine. And then they do it, and they do it way better and faster than I could. And going, ah, damn it, I had to learn that lesson the way. So learning to be able to like, oh, because there's some things like, if it is too much of a chore, and it's taking too much time and it's not your area of giftedness. Like there's been so many times that I've learned over the 20 years by outsourcing or like you said, delegating or VAs and stuff. It frees me up to do the stuff that only I can do that lights me up, and let somebody who is in a much better position do that stuff. But it's learning, okay, what are the things that I need to do? And like I said, it's constantly a dance. And then that comes back to who's on your advisory team. Who are you talking to that can help give you the perspective and the experience and stuff to help you see things that you can't see because you're so deep in it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so true. Yeah. Like I have no desire really to do accounting. Like I said before, not like zero, you know, but do I want to learn the right questions to ask? Absolutely.
Yes.
Do I want to get more involved in it? Absolutely. Even with my bookkeeper, I don't want to, you know, spend my time doing my books, but can I have a budget tracker and can I keep track of everything? Absolutely. You know, do I want to learn more questions to ask or get more involved? Yes. But do I want to do all that all the time? No, I don't. So, you know, and like you say, right, find the things that you do best. But before I was like delegating everything. I don't want to do this. I don't want to learn this. I don't want to do this. But then it's like, I'm throwing, it's like, okay, what? Can I not learn Canva? Like, you know, do I need to pay someone to do Canva? No, I can learn how to do Canva, right? Like some of the simpler things, right? So, but yeah. Well, thank you. I, as always, love this conversation and love chatting with you. And I look forward to continuing.
Oh, we are going to have so much fun.
We are going to have a blast. I know that. So anything else you would like to share? Any tips for anybody, for everybody?
Yes, you can do business. There's very few people that couldn't do business. But the big thing is you have to be willing to get into the arena and you have to be learning. And I highly, highly recommend that you work with a good business coach that can help you for where you are. There's so many great business coaches, but they're so specialized and their programs and stuff are great once you've gotten to a certain point. But if you're working with somebody that is not like isn't teaching you the basics when you're first starting out, you're wasting your money. You have to have the basic foundational pieces first. You have to have your engine up and running, and then we can go to like common ones. Mindset coaches. Yes, that's important, but very, very specialized. Social media marketing coaches. There's tons of them. And I've seen so many people put like thousands upon thousands of dollars into these coaches in these programs. And the programs are great, but they don't have the basic foundational pieces of their business. So they're going, I can't really do anything with all the stuff that I learned. So you need to be working with a business coach that understands where you are and will help give you the full overview, the foundational pieces, so you can build. Because otherwise you're going to build and you're going to topple over.
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. Thank you. Thank you. And I have one last question that I love to ask people. What does freedom mean to you?
Freedom means I'm in control of my life. I choose what I do, when I do it, where I do it, and who I'm doing it with. And that's one of the reasons I absolutely love being an entrepreneur. Like, it's definitely had its challenging moments, but when I was fired from my job and I decided in that moment to finally start my business that people have been pushing me for years, I felt this weight being lifted from my shoulders, and I'm free. I don't have to put up with anybody else. I'm driving the bus and I know where I'm going. And that for me is freedom.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love that. Well, thank you again, Tammy, for being my guest here today. And for those listening, you can follow Tammy on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, right?
Yep. And you can always go to my website, ksabusiness.ca.
Beautiful. Awesome. All righty. Have a great day, everybody. And thanks for chiming in. Take care.
Thank you for watching Freedom Starts Now with Karen Theimer, only on the Breakthrough Show Network. Please visit our website at thebreakthroughshow.com to catch all past episodes and, of course, connect with Karen. Until next time, break free and find freedom.